How's my tuck look? It's good. My shirt, not my, I don't know.
Both look great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I grew up in a very religious sort of community. Did any of you? Yes. Fantastic. Do we have some religious trauma here this evening? I thought so. I could sense it. It feels very strong in here. I grew up extremely religious. My family wasn't particularly, but I got sort of sucked into a middle America megachurch youth group when I was in high school. And it was my whole world. I got saved 8 or 9 times. And I got saved so many times mainly because my youth pastor, Pastor Greg, at the end of every sermon, he would say this phrase. He would say, if you don't know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you're going to heaven, you have to come down here. And every time he said that phrase, shadow of a doubt, it just scared me. So like every other Sunday, it's me coming down the aisle again. Pastor Greg would see me coming and be like, oh God. Kevin, you got saved last Sunday. And I'd be like, not beyond the shadow of a doubt. I was baptized 4 times. And I guess this is a sad way to begin, I guess, but I kept trying to get saved and baptized so many times because in my teenage years, I was starting to realize there was something inside of me that was never going to be accepted in that world. And I think I thought if I got saved for real and baptized for real, it would like fix me. And of course that never happened. It didn't stick. So I had to keep doing it because it didn't stick. So the first time I got baptized, it just didn't stick. The second time I got baptized, it was at a church camp and they were doing it in a lake and it just looked fun. I didn't want to miss out. And then the third time I got baptized was at my church. And so at my church, on the back wall, this curtain would open up. And there was like a baptism scenario up there. Do you know what I mean, some of you? Like a pool recessed into the wall. And behind the pool, someone in the church had hand-painted, not very well, this mural of like a relaxing pasture. Not a relaxing pasture. Pasture, like a meadow with like badly painted trees. In the corner, there were a couple of like weird deer. There was a woman in a bonnet and she was pouring water into a lake. It's like there's already water in the lake. We don't need Milady pouring more. Anyway. Oh, and then the front of the pool was see-through glass like we were at fucking SeaWorld. Okay. So if you were getting baptized up there at church, they made us wear these long white linen robes to get baptized in. So on the Sunday morning, I'm getting baptized and also Gary is getting baptized. So we're both in the long white linen robes and Gary goes first. So I'm off to the side. When Gary comes up out of the water, I can see everything. It was like a wet t-shirt contest for Jesus. It's a gay wet t-shirt contest for Jesus. So Gary turns around to exit the other side and I can see his freshly baptized buttocks. And now it's my turn. And so I'm walking into Gary's penis water. I'm like, well, it's not going to stick this time either. All of these stories I'm about to tell you this evening took place in my hometown. I grew up in a small town in Indiana. And in the late 80s in Indiana, we had a huge problem. The number one problem in small town Indiana in the late 80s was devil worshippers. We had a huge devil worshipper problem in the 80s in Indiana. And really all it was we had a bunch of old abandoned houses. And so all the kids in town would be like, don't go in that house at night. There's devil worshippers in there. And we were all so scared. And the TV show Inside Edition came to Evansville in the late 80s to do an expose on our devil worshiper problem. This is real. You could watch this clip online. And the segment they did was called The Devil's Playground. That's my home. And so Inside Edition wanted to feature a house in town that we called the Blue House. And you'll never guess why we called it that. And Inside Edition is pointing their cameras into the basement windows of the Blue House. And all the kids in town knew that on the basement floor in the Blue House, someone had drawn a giant pentagram on the basement floor. And you could also see drops of dried blood. Yeah, and it was probably dried baby blood. Oh, this is probably a coincidence, but my friend's goth band at the time, they practiced in the basement of the Blue House. That's probably a coincidence. So, also, there was a baseball park by my house, and we would even say, do not go into the dugout at the baseball park after dark, because in the dugout, there are also devil worshippers, yes. So if you're interested in worshiping the devil, go to Evansville, Indiana. It's the baseball park on Van Avenue. Walk into the dugout at night. They'll be waiting for you. And just be like, hello, I'm here to worship the devil. And they'll be like, great. Have a seat on this Little League baseball bench. There's some Playboys hidden up in the wall if you'd like to read the Playboy while you're waiting. Number one problem in my small Indiana town, okay? Now, who in here as a teenager went to some sort of youth group, like a church youth group? Okay, almost everybody in here. So at the end of your youth group, did you ever break into small groups? Yes, okay. So ladies, I'm gonna tell you something that you might not even know. In small groups, after youth group, if there was ever a small group of all guys, what those guys were talking about, for sure, 100%, those guys were talking about masturbation. For sure. We were just teenagers and we felt guilty about it. So if you let us talk about it, we were gonna talk about it. And I remember one time we were saying, okay, the part of masturbation that is sinful is your thoughts. It's not the physical part, it's your thoughts. So we went down kind of a weird road. And for a while there, you might have found me alone in my room. Like, Lord, I lift your name on high. Lord, I love to sing your praises. Ooh, okay. You know, let's take a moment. I'm glad this happened. I'm glad we're talking about this because I was really hoping to have this moment with you here tonight. You know, if in that world, if you grew up in any sort of like purity culture or real strictness around sexuality, that stuff can hang around inside of you for a long time. Even years later, if you feel like you've moved on, I feel like that stuff can hang out in you and affect how you feel about your self-worth or your body. And I really wanted to take a moment this evening to heal our younger selves. Have you ever let a guy come on your face? You decide you're gonna let it happen. And then he just barely comes anything. It's more gross somehow, just like with like one tadpole of jizz sliding down the shaft. It's more gross, I think. Like, I think if you're gonna do it, you wanna just get blasted in the face. Like a dog with a garden hose on a hot summer day. Just saying, if there's barely anything there, he has to like smear it on your face. He has to step back and fling it at you. You know when you're at the zoo and you happen to see a couple of animals doing it at the zoo. It's funny, right? You don't like, that's it. Like you would never be at the zoo and be like, those filthy zebras, those dirty zebras. You would never do that. That would be super weird. And I don't think that God looks at us like that either. I don't think, because he's not real. But, I'm joking. It's a joke. I just divided this room in half, which is how it should be in America. No, I do think it's interesting how our attitudes around sexuality shift around from generation to generation. You know, I remember on television back in the day, there used to be a couple of elderly women speaking like super explicitly about sex. Dr. Ruth was the most famous one. Like so explicit, like on NBC on a Thursday night, in a way that I think you could not do today at all, I don't think. And it's super interesting. I saw Dr. Ruth one time on Oprah, and she was like, everyone needs to go home tonight and get a handheld mirror. And for the very first time in your life, I want you to put the mirror down there and just look at yourself. And everyone on Oprah was like, oh my God, like, can I, you know, and I think it's interesting that she was speaking so explicitly, but everyone was kind of subtle and reserved. And today it's reversed. Like you can't talk that explicitly on TV anymore, but no one is reserved like that in their actual lives anymore. Like the moment I got a cell phone with a camera on it, it was every possible, I put it in panoramic mode, and I made a 17-inch photograph from the tip to the gooch. And after the show, there will be prints for sale if anyone wants a signed copy. Now, even if you did not grow up in any sort of youth group culture, purity culture, there's still some common experiences that we all share. Like this one, for example. At some point when you were very young, your mom was like, don't touch your pee-pee. And it scared you, and it stuck down in there forever. Now, your mom didn't mean anything by that. You were just at JCPenney being a weird pervert. So she was like, don't touch your pee-pee. And now today, that affects your relationships. Or maybe now you jack off at JCPenney. I don't know, that's what I do. So the summer before I went away to college in my hometown, in my church, there was this guy named Jerry. And Jerry was totally paralyzed from the neck down. And very funny sense of humor, very interesting guy. Everyone loved Jerry at my church. And something happened that summer where he lost one of the people who cared for him in his house. So it was my job that summer. I slept on a mat on Jerry's floor. It was my job to wake up throughout the night. You don't think about this, but Jerry would wake up in the middle of the night and be uncomfortable, and he needed someone nearby to move him or help him to the bathroom or whatever. So I slept on a mat on Jerry's floor, and several times throughout the night, I would hear, Kevin, Kevin. And then I would wake up, and Jerry would instruct me to roll him to one side, to move a leg a certain way, and then we go back to sleep. And that would happen 2 or 3 times throughout the night. There was always one final wake up at Jerry's house where I would hear, Kevin, Kevin. And then I'd wake up and Jerry would say that he was having a sex dream and he wanted to ask God to forgive him for having a sex dream. And when I think about that, me laying on Jerry's floor in the middle of the night while he asks God to forgive him for having a sex dream, I remember that and I think, did Jerry want a hand job? So after I gave Jerry a hand job, I'm a good person. I was like, Lord, I lift your name on high. All right. People are often surprised when they see a picture of me from this era of my life because, yes, we were very conservative in our ideas, but in our style, we were really cool. We were trying to be like the rock and roll church, okay? So a lot of the guys had long hair. I did. Some guys even had an earring. I did. Some guys even had like a frosted mullet for Jesus. I did. And one year, my mom gave me a black leather motorcycle jacket for Christmas. It was so cool. I wanted it so badly. And I immediately went and got my mom's bedazzler. And I spelled the word Jesus on the back of my motorcycle jacket in sparkles. And in the church office, they had this giant bag of plastic baby fetuses. And we passed those out to people for some reason. But I took one of the plastic baby fetuses and I kept it in the breast pocket of my sparkly Jesus jacket. And just to complete the whole look, I also bedazzled the plastic baby fetus. And there's a couple of pictures of me on the internet in that jacket, and if you ever see one of those pictures, I want you to know that in the breast pocket is a bedazzled plastic baby fetus. So this guy in my youth group, he built this giant wooden cross, and every year we took the giant cross down to the fall festival. And now the fall festival was just what you're imagining. It was carnival rides and fried foods and stabbings, like that atmosphere. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And we took turns, the youth group, holding up the giant cross in the middle of the crowd at the fall festival. So it was my turn to hold the giant cross, and I'm standing there in my sparkly Jesus jacket, frosted mullet for Jesus, bedazzled plastic baby fetus. And this kid walks up to me from my high school, and his name is Daryl. And Daryl was like the original goth kid. Daryl had like long dyed black bangs. He wore a Bauhaus t-shirt and like faggy little ninja slippers. It's a whole look. And Daryl was extremely effeminate and flamboyant. Now, as time would tell, Daryl is not even gay. Me, sparkly Jesus jacket, gay. So Daryl's standing in front of me, totally flaming out. Now you guys, when I was a teenager, I was starting to get super paranoid that everyone in town would think that I am gay, because I am gay. But I had none of that worked out at all. So Daryl's standing in front of me, and I'm getting super paranoid that everyone at the fall festival thinks I'm gay. So I had to get Daryl away from me. And I look over, and the line for the corn dogs was very long. So I asked Daryl to go buy me a corn dog, and now he has to go wait in that long-ass corn dog line. Problem solved. Now no one at the fall festival thinks I'm gay. I didn't totally think this plan through, because eventually Daryl returned with the corn dog, and my hands were full with the giant cross. So Daryl just inserted the corn dog. And as that was happening, I look over and Pastor Greg is just watching Daryl penetrate my face with a corn dog. So yes, my teenage years were very painful. And it made me act out in some weird ways. Like, I remember for a while I started keeping this journal that was supposed to be like a private prayer journal between me and God. And I filled up this notebook with page after page of what I thought a straight Christian man would think and feel in his private thoughts. Isn't that like sad? It's sad and crazy at the same time. But I wanted it to be true so badly. And I remember the opening sentence of the fake straight Jesus journal. The opening line that I wrote was, "Oh, how I love women." Why'd I say it like that? Why was imaginary straight me like so wistful about the female form? How my loins hearken unto the vag. But I put so much work into this journal that it started to become unsatisfying that no one had read it. So in my youth group, we did this thing called holding each other accountable. Yes, I can see heads nodding. If you have trauma from youth group, it's because of this. We held each other accountable. And so I asked a guy in my youth group if he would hold me accountable, same age as me, and we decided to meet at Denny's, and I brought with me the fake straight Jesus journal. And I sat down in the booth across from, we'll call him Denny. And I sit down and I'm like, "Denny, I'm going to read to you from my private journal and it's going to be very personal." And Denny was like, "I'm ready to hold you accountable." So I start reading from the journal, and what I wasn't expecting is as I'm reading, this super intense sexual energy starts coming off of Denny, and I loved it. Denny's gonna hold me accountable a lot more often. We start having weekly meetings at Denny's with Denny, and now I'm writing custom entries in the journal for what I think Denny will like. It was hot. And a little Sufjan Stevens. Shortly after that, we were doing this Thanksgiving dinner at my church. And we were in the church basement getting the food ready. And I was helping Denny chop up these pre-cooked sausages and arrange them onto a tray. And as we were chopping the sausages, Denny said, "These sausages are delicious." And then I said, "Are they?" And then Denny stuck his finger in my mouth, and I sucked the sausage juice off of Denny's finger. And as that was happening, I look over, and Pastor Greg is just watching me suck the sausage juice. Okay, so I went on a double date to my senior prom. I went on a double date with guess who? Denny. Denny and our dates went to senior prom. And before the prom, we had this fancy little dinner, and the food comes out. Do you remember, there was like this whole era in the 90s of what we thought was healthy eating. Do you remember how crazy we were? Like all the food of that era. We were crazy about diets. We were crazy about fat-free food. In the 90s, for lunch, you probably had a Slim Fast with an American Spirit. And my mom was into all that fat-free stuff. So all the food in our house was fat-free everything. Although, do you remember there were those sugar-free cookies, Snackwells? Those were good. Also, the sandwich shop Subway convinced us that if you want to eat healthy in the 90s, eat as many foot-long sandwiches as you possibly can, and pair it with Olestra chips. Yes. For the younger people who are not in this room, who are watching on the internet, in the 90s, we had a chemically altered potato chip called Olestra. And it said on the bag, may cause anal leakage. Now, I ate the Olestra chips in the 90s. I did not get anal leakage. I mean, I have it now, but I didn't have it then. Yeah, okay, so at the senior prom, before there was this dinner, and the first course was a salad, and the salad came out, and it had real ranch dressing on it. And now, somehow, at this point in my life, I had never had real ranch dressing, because all the food in my house was the fat-free stuff, and I did not understand that I had never had real ranch dressing. So when I took a bite of the full-fat ranch dressing, it exploded in my mouth. It was so delicious. I didn't understand what was happening, and I couldn't shut up about it the entire senior prom night. As I'm enjoying the ranch dressing, I look across the table and I see that Denny is holding hands with Stephanie. It's a big deal, you guys. In my youth group, we would take it to total extremes. We would say, if you're holding hands with someone that you end up not marrying, you're holding hands with someone's future wife. So it's a big deal. So with a mouth full of full-fat ranch dressing, Denny gets up from the table, and I follow him into the bathroom to hold him accountable. And I walk into the bathroom, and I'm like, hey, I noticed you were holding hands with Stephanie. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. Have you prayed about this? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. So you're gonna marry Stephanie? And he was like, yeah. And I was heartbroken. Did our fake straight journal readings mean nothing to Denny? Did our sausage sucking moment mean nothing to him? It's all I could think about the entire night of my senior prom. That, and of course, how delicious full-fat ranch dressing is. You know, I have experienced a lot of heartbreak in my life, I think. And, you know, I think, have you ever had your heart broken so severely it feels like your insides have been burned away or something? I think that can only happen to you maybe once or twice in your life, thankfully. And for me, the very worst one was when I had just moved to Los Angeles, California, to pursue my dream of stand-up comedy. Thank you. And I was dating this guy, and I made that stupid youthful decision to move in with him when we barely knew each other. And we found this tiny little studio apartment in West Hollywood. And it was wonderful for a couple of months. And then he very quickly sort of unraveled and revealed himself to be a totally out of control drug addict and alcoholic. And I'd never been around anything like that before, especially in a studio apartment in West Hollywood. And I remember the first night that something awful happened. We were sitting on the couch, and we both had a glass of wine. And he was like slurring his words with like one glass of wine. And he was a big guy. He was like 6'4", 250 pounds, and smoking hot. It's how I got myself in this problem to begin with. And then he gets up and sort of stumbles into the other room, and I could hear the sound of like weird water So I walk into the other room, and he's standing there just drunk peeing onto the kitchen floor. And it took me off guard. I didn't know what to do. So I just instinctively reached out and clamped off his penis. And this is true. When I did that, my first thought was, that was such a weird sensation to like clamp off the pee flow in someone else's penis. Like I'll probably never experience that again. So just so I could experience it one more time, I went ahead and gave it one more blast, just so I could feel it. You know what I mean? And when I did that, he started to giggle, and I can't turn down a laugh. So I went ahead and gave it like 5 comedy squirts. And we just laughed. We were having the best time. I wanted to talk a little about this evening. I wanted to tell you a few things that I learned from Jesus. One time, Jesus said, "It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven." And when I think about that verse, I'm like, wow, Jesus was fucking terrible with metaphors. I thought the point of a metaphor was to make your story more clear, not less clear. Everyone who heard him that day was like, I thought I knew where you were going with this, but I do not. No, one of the questions that people ask me more than anything is, do I still believe in God? And to be honest, that is not an easy question for me to answer. It's a very nuanced, layered question for me. Although weirdly, somehow, I feel like today I am more of a follower of Christ than I ever was back then. Today, I'm actually a huge fan of the words of Jesus. And I think that it's something the world could probably really use right now. One verse I hear now that I did not understand when I was young was this. One time Jesus said, "Whatever you do to the least of these, you do unto me." And I never knew what that meant exactly. And in my church, there was this weird painting of that verse where Jesus was like standing by a lake, and he's like, "Whatever you do to the least of these," and he's like gesturing towards some ducks or something. I'm like, what? What does that mean? I didn't get it. But I know what it means now. Whatever you do to the most vulnerable people among you, you're doing that to yourself. Whatever you do to those people over there, you're doing that to yourself. If your community is sick, you are sick. I am dreaming of a softer world. A softer world for you and for me. A softer world where Marjorie Taylor Greene pursues her passion for watercolor painting. And all of her paintings are self-portraits of her tits. You walk into the gallery and it's like, Marjorie Taylor Greene, my tits. An exploration in watercolor of my tits. I'm dreaming of a softer world, a softer future for you and for me. A softer world where Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell start a cover band. And the highlight of their set is when they play Islands in the Stream. And Nancy is like, "Islands in the stream." And Mitch is like, "Ma." But my favorite verse of all of them, that I understand way better today than I ever did back then, was this: the truth will set you free. You might feel like a lot of the stories I'm telling you are kind of dark, and I guess they are, but they were a long time ago. A lot of time has gone by, and I can sort of look back through the years, I guess, and see the absurdity of my own experience, I suppose. I guess I somehow feel like all of the sadness in my life over time has compressed into like a weird, dark jewel that lives inside of me. And I'm glad it's there. It's valuable. It's me. I spent all of my younger years being the opposite of free. And I don't know why the truth is so scary, but it is to us. Until you face it, and it's terrifying, but then it's a total relief. Why didn't you do it sooner? The light chases out the darkness and all that stuff. Your heart is a compass, and the truth will set you free. Are there any questions? I think we have time for a few questions. Questions, anyone?
Did you come out like as a teenager or?
No, it was, the only time I actually ever officially came out to anyone was really my mom, way later. Like it was a very gradual thing for me. Like I stretched it out over like a decade. And because that's how my mind works anyway. Like nothing, I don't know if you've put it together, but nothing is super simple for me. Like I have to like see all the sides before I can navigate a path, I think. So I went away to college, and I didn't really want to go to college. I was sort of escaping my hometown, if I'm being honest. And I showed up at college, and I had to declare a major, which I had not really thought about. And I was like, well, I guess I just want to enjoy myself while I'm here. So I chose to be a musical theater major. And that, because I'd done some musicals in high school, and that sounded like fun. But it probably was a life-saving decision, probably, because that was the first time I met people who were gay, and then surrounded by people who were fine with people being gay. This sounds wild, but I didn't even really understand that that was a possibility. I was surrounded by people who didn't care who I was. And it still took me a long time to let it go. Like I said, it was my whole world. I believed it.
Did you ever like date women or?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think in the beginning when I first started to realize, in the journal that I told you about earlier, there was actually, I remember this is super sad. I remember I wrote in that journal one day, I think I might be gay. And then I just sort of looked at that sentence for a minute, and I tore the page out of the journal. And I remember I don't have that journal anymore, but I did have it for a long time. And there was one page of it. It was all lies. The whole thing was a complete fabrication. But there was one page that was torn out. And I actually wish I still had that for just that missing page. But yeah, I admitted it to myself one time, and it was like, no, that's so scary. Yeah.
Did your youth group have walk-ins?
Oh yeah. Let me take it one more weird level. My church had this thing that we called the monastery, and we bought. Was it a monastery? It wasn't. No, it was not for men though. It was for women. So what would you call that? A convent. Yeah. So there was this old convent building, and we bought it. And we used it for a whole bunch of different things. It was kind of downtown, like where, like on the other side of town. And in the basement of the convent, there were devil worshippers. No, there were a bunch of places in the walls where all the nuns were buried. But before we bought it, they took all the dead nuns away. I've never said that sentence before in my whole life. And but we would have lock-ins there, and it was so scary and like, yeah.
What are those?
Lock-ins are. How do you describe this? Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's a church slumber party, and I know that sounds like a terrible idea, and you're right, it is a terrible idea. But for the main message of a youth group being don't have sex, but let's lock you all in together for an evening. That's why we did it around the dead nuns. Do we have any other questions?
What college?
I went to Ball State University, which is in northern Indiana.
That's where I live.
What?
Yeah, that's actually where I live.
Like right now?
Yes.
You drove here from Ball State University? Okay.
And I was a music education major in college.
What years?
Well, I went to Anderson. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anderson is a really conservative Christian college, like
Yes, it is.
half an hour away.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I got in trouble too when I graduated.
Oh my God. Why am I fingering this microphone? Okay. I hate myself. Okay. Do we have any other questions? All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much. That's it, y'all.